Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of the HOTSEAT campaign, The War for Middle-earth. No, we have not forgotten about it. No, it has not been cancelled. We are still going ahead with it, and it's just taking a while, that's all. We're on about turn 25 now, which is why we're uploading the episode from turns 10 to 15. And here we go. As we start on turn 11, you know from the last episode that I have sent my fleet with almost the entirety of my fleet north to sack some places. But I can't retrain anything because I'm hemorrhaging money so very rapidly. We're trying to build, but we cannot because we have no funds. And the only thing that is keeping us going, really, is the fact that we're making a tiny profit a day. It should take 3 turns for us to get there, but there is a slight problem with this, in that I have extraordinarily bad luck, and in a couple of turns, I run into a fleet of steels that he had just been given as a reward for a quest. They spawn literally on top of my own fleet. And because he was given the good ships, and I only have long ships, it does not end well. Thankfully, however, he does not manage to sink my fleet. And I'm left in a chase to get as much out as I can. Meanwhile, things are going very, very poorly for the rest of the evil factions as well. White Wolf's Nazgul are not working. Hawk, as Kharned, is completely unable to take any towns because they sally out and it gets auto-resolved, which is quite problematic. 8,000's a little steep, I think, and I'm told as much by AFG. There is something that's very bad that happens to AFG that you won't learn just yet, or from me. Suffice to say, he, as well as the rest of us, planned on launching a lightning strike at turn 11, and he did. And it didn't work very well. Let's just leave it at that. It's taken all of the evil factions about 15 turns to recover from this setback. And it is quite problematic. But necessary. It was a necessary evil. Or a necessary good, I suppose. On turn 12, he's offered to give 2,492 coins, which is very much acceptable. It turns out I am actually still hemorrhaging money, so that'll just stave it off for a little while longer. I don't know why I'd bother to look in these sections. Probably just to queue up more units to train, but even though it's not worth anything. There, however, you probably saw out of the corner of your eyes an Ardenaim fleet escorting mine. Good old Sir Orgamond there, coming through to help me survive the blockade. He does his best. Sadly, his fleet too is badly damaged in these engagements. If I had any sense, I'd have taken my fleet and landed it at Methrast there. But I did not. I was a fool. I could have taken a fairly easy victory had I noticed the fact that there was a place to land there. But instead I was a fool and I overreached. I was so set on my objective of sacking Londegarlen that I failed to notice his own fleet, that I failed to notice an easier path that would have led to more damage in the long run. More on that will follow in the next episode in a few turns. He has got his troops scattered throughout forts, and I thought that meant he would be making a lot of money, but apparently that is not the case. I have a strong army, at least in terms of the early stages of the game. Just waiting here. Though I should have gone for Methrast. If I had managed to take Dol Amroth itself, it would have been a crushing blow to the forces of good, because they would not retake it from me without a strong fight that I would be fighting. For I will not let them attack a city so hard won, even if it meant losing the advantage of the towers. I'd rather command a fight like that any day. I will skip forward to the next turn, though I suspect it is almost here now. Nope, wow. There we go, turn 13. Here is, of course, where my fortunes turn from good to hopeless, or terrible, I should say, not hopeless. Nothing is ever really hopeless. I am slowly making money, but alas, my fleet has been smashed. Thankfully, unless the entire fleet is destroyed, it does not matter how much damage the ships take. They will not lose any soldiers from the ground army they carry. It would have been so easy to take Dol Amroth. Now it is impossible, for due to an annoying issue, I'm not able to move my fleet this turn. So it gives Hawk a very good chance to see where it is. Sorry, not Hawk, Steel. It's been a while since I've recorded one of these videos, as I'm sure you can tell, as I'm forgetting the names of who's playing who. I'm disappointed in myself. I have a good number of generals, some of whom don't even suck. But it doesn't really make a difference. Turn 14. And we come back to much the same story. And here my fortunes turn for the worse again. For Steel manages to stumble across my fleet in this end turn period once more, which is truly infuriating. His good fortunes are incredibly good. His fortunes are incredibly high at this stage. He's somehow able to discover where my fleet is every time I suspect it's because his admirals have obscenely high line of sight. Which is fair enough. I knew what I'd be getting into launching a naval invasion against Dol Amroth, the seafaring nation. Other than, of course, the Ardenaim, whose ships are supposedly better and yet lose when they outnumber the enemy. Curious that, isn't it? I will skip forward once again to turn 15, for I'm just rechecking stuff at this point, except here we see Eomer, who has just done a terrible thing. That's me screenshotting the proof for the guys. When I saw Foldberg had not been taken, I knew something terrible had happened. And here we go, my fortunes start to increase once more, for I now have money. And yes, we discovered here the messenger feature in HOTSEAT campaigns, which I will tell you how to do when I do it myself. We are building for the first time in a long time. And it is good. I know that I desperately need to get my stables online. Oh, and my fleet was smashed again. And I knew it was over for that army there. And yet somehow the final blow never came. I still don't know what Steel and Argo were doing when they let my fleet live with the army aboard. Perhaps they didn't want to make it too easy for them, because without that army, they would definitely have launched a naval invasion against me, and I would not have survived it. I speak only the truth there. Now, I know that I have to get military buildings going, but if I did make military buildings, there would be absolutely no way that I could finance the army that I could then create. It comes down to a toss-up between economy and military, and I have to choose economy. I cannot afford to be helpless, but have a strong army in the field. And there we have it. The end of episode 3. In some unrelated news, I know my channel has been very quiet for the last couple of months. That is because I have been very busy with schoolwork and other things. Next weekend, as this video is uploaded, there will be 2 videos regarding the development of Conflicts of Eridor. I have not forgotten about that either, and I would never hear the end of it from my mod team if I had abandoned it. There will be 2, a developer diary and a faction pre-release overview. See you next time. Commander Sol over and out.